Hi everyone, welcome to another unboxing video. So you may not be aware, but there's this group called 1985 Games, and they've made some dungeon craft tiles, as they call them. So this is the Hell and High Water book, even though it's clearly a box, they refer to them as books. So this set was created with the intention of having map tiles that are suited to the D&D adventures of Descent into Avernus and Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Having said that, these tiles can be used for any tabletop RPG game. So, when I received this in the mail a week ago, it was covered in a nice protective plastic, as well as the inside. Dear little hi customer, thanks for supporting 1985 Games. And also some instructions. You're meant to cut out your tile pieces. They don't come pre-cut because it saves them on production costs, which is fair because it means it saves me money. So these are the tiles. They also had come in a plastic coating, which I've obviously taken off for the video. These are split into basically two sections, obviously the Hell and the High Water section, to which I'll be doing two separate videos, as I would rather not upload one giant long video. So without further ado, let's review the water side. So once again, you could easily use these tiles to set out any campaign that's based in the water with ships and all. So if you didn't watch my video unboxing volume 1 of this set, you will notice that the colors are really quite vibrant and they pop in these tiles, which I personally love. Some people prefer a more gritty or dull or dreary or realistic or whatever word you want to insert there, but I really like how these colors are so bright, and they really just paint the picture and create the atmosphere for your players, or at least that's how I feel about them. Now, 1985 Games is actually doing another Kickstarter at the moment. So these two products were released through the Kickstarter website. I did not partake in that Kickstarter. I did not know there was one happening. So at the moment, for the next, I think, 20 days, they have a Kickstarter releasing two other packs. One is like a Cursed Lands, Graveyard, spooky feel, and the other one is for castles and keeps and the sort. So if you love this Hell and High Water set, or the volume 1 set that I showed in the other videos, then do consider going to the Kickstarter and pledging to get these two and maybe the new ones as well. But you can just see how, I'll show you this way, how bright and how, my camera would zoom, there we go, how detailed and how bright these tiles are. It's just amazing. It must have taken ages to do. Like, what a cool snake. So that's the only thing that I'm not sure of when it comes to some of these beasties. These tiles are 1 inch by 1 inch. That's basically the grid size they're going for. So as far as how big some of the monsters are, I've noticed that some of them can be really big. And I personally play 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, where some of the creatures shouldn't be that large if you're going to take the whole huge versus large versus medium size into consideration. But I've only noticed that kind of disproportionate shape when it comes to the really large monsters that Dungeon Craft have produced. There's one at the back of this pack that will really illustrate what I mean. So all in all, I definitely don't think it's a reason not to get these, because they're just so great. And I like how they feel. They have this like plasticky quality to them, and they obviously shine because you can see that sometimes my light reflects off them. They are also dry and wet eraser friendly, or not eraser, marker. I keep confusing the word marker and eraser tonight. Don't know why. Oh, let's take a look at this guy. This little pirate. That's the other thing. If you don't feel like buying a zillion figurines that cost a lot of money and then you have to paint, Dungeon Craft have provided characters in these packs, or monsters that are 1 by 1, so I know I'm going to be using them a lot. Oh, and this is the other thing I love about these packs, is you've got obviously a ship here, a normal ship that's just happy sailing on, and now it's on fire. I just love how so many of the tiles, you have a normal version and then an on fire version. I'm not quite sure why I'm so obsessed with that, but it's just cool. You have that player that just loves to cast fireball too much. Well, now you can suddenly turn the player's atmosphere into a reality by literally having everything on fire. See, you've got some little NPC pirates available. Now, I obviously haven't cut out the pieces yet because I really wanted to show you all them. But the tiles are not that thick, which means a good pair of scissors or some of those like sculpting blades should do the trick. The other thing I really like, which these next 2 tiles are going to illustrate, is when it comes to the boats, they have a side that should be the top of the boat. So you can see here that this has the wheel there. So that's the top side of this boat. And then you've got the other side, which obviously, as you can see, has the beds. So it's the second level of the boat. So if you've got players, let's just take these 2 for example. They're on the top of the boat. There we go, they'd be on top of the boat. And then when I want to retire for the evening, we just flip the tiles around. This is obviously a much easier task once you've actually cut them and you're playing on a board. They match up, and now you have the second layer of the boat. And I have heaps of boat options, which I really like. Because if you do feel like chopping and changing design and making some of them match with other pieces, a lot of them look like they provide that flexibility from when I was looking at these sets earlier. And I'm not quite sure why, but this tile is probably one of my favorites, because like you have the guy who's alive and he's struggling because obviously shipwreck, help me. And then on the flip side of the tile, it's just like he did not make it. Bit, you know, sad, I guess, but I quite like that tile. As you can see, there are heaps of tiles. This pack has, I think the box is over 880. So that's huge. See, they've got more of stuff on fire. It's just great. Oh, I love it. I like this lady too. This swashbuckler pirate. That's the other thing I like about these tiles, is that they're not like too sexy. Quite often when you're looking at females, they'll just make them a bit too vavoom. So if you do want to play with, you know, family friendly setting, these tiles are certainly a good way to go. I also like how some of them seem to be underwater. So this isn't what you'd like. You would have to somehow have a campaign where you have to go into the water to be able to see that coral, because this really bright, gorgeous coral is possibly more visual from the surface or from just looking at top of a boat. But I just love how bright and vibrant that is. Because me personally, I'm not an artist. I'm not a painter. I'm not very good at drawing. So to have all of this colour and pop presented to me where all I need to do is cut these tiles out, it's just great. I'm loving it. On fire! Gotta love the on fire versions. And when it comes to these people or monsters I keep showing you, quite often the flip side is just another color version of them. But I really like that, because you may decide that you actually don't like a particular color palette, or it doesn't suit the overall vibe of the scene you're going for. That focus is out of whack. Let's try and change. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Just using a tablet to record. Definitely not the best recording device under the sun. I love this crimson color. It's just so nice. I know I keep rambling on about the colors, but I'm obviously a colors person. I mean, look at my couch. Now, this is what I mean about the monsters. Maybe this is like a little too huge. Sure, if you want to scare the bejesus out of the players, go ahead. Use this bad boy. Or girl, who knows. But having said that, I haven't seen a monster like this in the manuals. Not that I've looked for one, but potentially there is supposed to be one that is this huge. But anyway, that is the water side of these dungeon craft tiles. So I'll catch you for the next video where we look at the hell side.